Clear out the room, I'm coming through. They wanna see what I'm about. Yeah, I got skills, do it for the thrill. I'm on a paper route. Extra, read about it. I'm today's trending topic.
YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Dre and we're back with another tutorial, and in today's video we are going to be doing a super clean low fade. So to start off this haircut, I went ahead and established my line in the back, and then I went to the sides and I'm going to connect those 2 points in the middle. And establishing my line in the back helps to make sure that the fade comes down in the back nice and even, so that way not one side is higher than the other. And now we're going to use our trimmer to just bald everything out, trying to get it as close to the skin as possible, so when we come in with the shaver, it doesn't have to do too much work. And now I went ahead and grabbed those shavers, and I'm stopping a little below that line. I'm not taking it all the way up, so I'm flicking out as I get towards the top. Now we're going to come in with our lever all the way open on our JRLs, and we're going to go up about a full inch here. I would say it's equivalent to a thumb's width. And I want to continue to maintain that shape that drops towards the back, because again, this is going to be a low fade. And the reason I decided, or I think that the low fade fits this client's head shape, is because he has curls. And you don't want to cut off too much curls off the crown area, because then it just looks like a big poof ball on top. And as well, the back of his head kind of bulges out. So I feel like a low fade really complements his head shape. And I went ahead and closed that lever all the way. And I'm going to go ahead and tap at that line. And as I move up within that guideline, I'm going to go ahead and open up my lever little by little until that line is completely blended out. And you can see as we do that, it's starting to blend out very nicely. And you should be lever all the way open by the time you get back to the top of that guideline. And now I went ahead and grabbed my one guard, and we opened up that lever all the way. And again, we're going to go up about the same distance here, which is a thumb's width, a full inch. Continuing that shape. And I'm combing and brushing as I do so, because he had so much growth there on the sides. One thing I would have did that I didn't do on this side that I do on the other is I would have debulked with the 4 or 3 guard first and then started fading. But I just got right into it. So I'm making sure that I'm combing or brushing as I said in these guidelines. And I'm going over it multiple times to make sure, it's truly a one open. And then right there, I went ahead and closed that number 1 guard to go ahead and, try to blend out that line a little bit, but it's not going to fully do the job. So I'll go ahead and grab my half guard with the lever all the way open. And we're going to go continue to attack that line. And if the open isn't doing the job, I'll go ahead and close that lever gradually as I move down. And you can see slowly but surely, it's starting to come together very nicely. And the reason I always start open when trying to take out a line is because I don't want to risk taking off too much hair if I come in closed first, right? So I'll go open and then I'll gradually close that lever. And now for the biggest guard that we are going to use, I have my 2 guard with the lever all the way open. And with this 2 guard, I'm not trying to create a guideline necessarily here. I'm trying to debulk and blend into that length on top as best as possible. But obviously that 2 guard isn't going to blend into the curls perfectly. So I'm just trying my best to flare out so that way we can come in with clipper over comb. And now right under that 2 guard open, I'm going to come in with my 1.5 with the lever all the way open. And we're just going to attack this line, try to get it blended out. And then just like I did with that half guard, I'm going to go ahead and come in open and gradually close that lever until we get this line nice and blended. And we're staying real consistent, real patient here, trying to trust the process and the system that we have set in place. And obviously this is not perfect, so we are going to go back in detail. So I grab my 1 guard again, and I'm coming in and just attacking those dark areas that I couldn't get out with the 1.5. And you'll see as I do this, this blend really starts to get a lot more polished and come together very nicely. Now I went ahead and took that 1 guard off, and I'm using the corner of my blade with the lever all the way open and still trying to attack those dark spots. And I'm using the corner of my blade because it allows me to go up a little higher without a guard on there, right? So now we're going to come in with clipper over comb. So I'm coming in with my comb and flaring out slightly, and any hair sticking out of that comb I'm going to go ahead and get rid of with my clipper. And this should transition into the curls a lot better. But to make it a lot more smooth, we are going to grab our thinning shears here in a few moments. And this is just going to soften everything up, make it look a lot more fluid. And it's the same thing that I did with the clip over comb. So I'm coming in with my comb, flaring out a little, and then just cutting that with my thinning shears. And then I use the smaller teeth right here just so I can get, to those shorter hairs. And now we're going to blend into his somewhat of a beard. So we're going to do the opposite of what we did on the head. We came in with the lever open, now our 1 guard. And that pretty much blended into his beard. So now we're going to grab our 3 guard. And like I said, instead of getting into the steps right away, I wanted to debulk to give myself a clean canvas. So I'm going ahead and cleaning up the sides with the 3 guard first. And now, like we did on the other side, I'm going to grab my lever all the way open. And we're going to go up about a thumb's width here. And continue to maintain that drop shape. And now to start getting rid of that line, I'm going to come in closed and then gradually open the lever as I just showed you. So we're coming in closed here, and you want to make sure that you're kind of going up, somewhat of a distance to get rid of that line. You don't want to just tap it and then open up the lever. You want to go up gradually as you open up that lever. And we're just working here, trying to detail, get rid of these lines. Now we're going to do that all the way towards the back. And instead of trying to get rid of that line all at one time and going in close all around the head, opening up a little bit, going around the head, work by section. So do the side, do the back, do the other side, and kind of pace yourself, right? So you don't get super overwhelmed. And as you can see, I'm taking my time. So I'm going to grab my 1 guard now, and we're going to go up, about the same distance, a full inch here, and just continuing to maintain that shape. And this may sound really repetitive, but fading system should not change, right? Obviously, different haircuts, different hair textures require different techniques in order to finish the job. But foundationally, your system should not change from haircut to haircut. And now to get rid of this line, I'm going to come in with my half guard open. And you'll see, since this is a drop fade, I'm using a lot of the corner of the blade as opposed to using the full blade. And that's because I want to make sure that I'm continuing to maintain that drop shape without taking off too much hair. So using the corner of the blade, it kind of gives you a safety net when doing so. And as we continue the process, you can already see how it's starting to come together. Obviously not perfect. That's what the detail work is. That's why detail work was required. But you can definitely see where the direction this haircut is headed. And now I'm just kind of connecting both sides in the back. And this drop fade is really complementing his head shape and hairstyle. So I think this was a good call with the low fade. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And I'm spending a lot of time in this area, and that's because this area right here is so important when it comes to the drop fade. And now we're gonna grab our 2 guard, which is again the biggest guard that we are using, and this is all the way open. And then under that 2 guard open, I went ahead and closed it because now we're gonna start blending down. Now we're gonna follow that up with the 1.5 open. And we'll go ahead and close that lever just like as you guys seen. And I'm telling y'all, man, y'all gotta get these JRLs. To be honest, man, these are my favorite clippers right now. I just had to replace the cutting blade because I dropped them and broke them. But I replaced it and they're good as new. So I really suggest getting these clippers. If you haven't checked it out already, go ahead and check out my review on these clippers. And you know, you guys can get a deeper in-depth review of what I think about them. So again, I'm detailing this area right here, which is super crucial when it comes to a drop fade. Just because of the angle of it, and when people look at you from the back and the side view, you want to make sure that it's nice and blended. And now we're going to go ahead and blend into his curls with clipper over comb like we did on the other side. And I'm coming in with the lever all the way open when doing clipper over comb, so it's not closed. Now we grabbed our thinning shears to go ahead and soften and blend everything up, give it a lot more fluid look. And this blend is coming together very nicely. Now we're gonna get into his lineup, all right? And for the lineup, we went ahead and sectioned off a portion of it. So I'm showing you right here before I get into the corners that this is not a pushback. Those are all hanging over hairs or hangover hairs. So I started in the middle and I'm moving towards his left side, trying to keep it as natural as possible while at the same time I'm getting it as sharp and as crispy as possible. So don't go in the comment section saying, oh, we pushed them back. Man, I just showed you guys those are overlapping hairs. And if you line those hairs up, man, his lineup is not even going to last a day. So for the arch, I started at the top of the arch and then I went to the bottom, and I'm going to connect those 2 points in the middle. And that is how I'm going to get that nice round shape without digging into it too much. And after I put the line on there, you can really see how that blend starts to pop and come together. And now we're going to move towards his right side. I'm showing you again that those are overlapping hairs, and I'm going to go ahead and line those up. Now for the arch, I'm starting at the top. Now I'm going to go to the bottom and connect those 2 points in the middle. And now he has a nice arch. Now for this cut, we are going to enhance it just to take it to a whole nother level. So I have my airbrush with my Kiss Express mixed with alcohol. And we're just spraying it lightly on the hairline to go ahead and darken it up, make it look a lot more fuller. And now we're going to go ahead and line up his facial hair. And since his beard is so much thinner and it's not very long, we are going to line it up along the jawline just to make it look a little fuller. And now we're just cleaning up his mustache here. And now for the razor, you want to make sure that you stretch the skin in the opposite direction of which you are going to use the razor, just to make sure that you don't cut the client. And this is just getting rid of all those stubbles that the trimmer couldn't get and really adding some longevity to his hairline while at the same time making it pop. So fam, this is how my client came in looking. This is how we left leaving. A nice clean low fade. We didn't touch any length on top. We cleaned up his facial hair. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And drop a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this video. But again, I thank you for watching. I will catch y'all next time.